Good evening, morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you guys are. This is another episode of the Anime Country Club. I am going to be your co host, No Mercy today, here with my boy Kobe Morales. Go ahead and give him a
What's
wave.
good, y'all? What's good?
So, we are sitting here to review something. We've been looking at all this Abba and Preach drama that's been going on. Um, we had kind of seen both channels. We hadn't really, gotten too much into them, at least for me. Is that the case for you, where you hadn't really seen them that much?
I mean, so I know of Abba and Preach, and then I know of Fresh and Fit. So this drama is really interesting. I have a lot of opinions on it, but I do want to, watch this content and then maybe just chime in or something. But I do have a lot of input. But I'm curious to see, what other people are thinking as well.
Okay. So yeah, so we're gonna see then, because I've heard of Abba and Preach, but I hadn't. Fresh and Fit are kind of new to me. I've heard of them. Like I'm 99% sure I've heard the name. I might have seen like a couple of their videos, but I definitely want to see what's going on because I know this has like been a really big thing. I think they had like 400 something thousand subscribers. I've been Preacher up there. They got the plaque. They got the million plaques. So pretty much, we had to skip ahead in the video because we didn't want you guys to have to see the whole thing. But we got um we got one of it looks like a fresher YouTuber. Shout out to Duke and Don.
Shout
He's
out
been
to Duke
doing
and
his
Don.
thing. Yeah, he's been doing his thing, covering this. And right here, he pretty much caught a dude with his cookie with his hand in the cookie jar, man. Like the guy sent this girl, Anna Quinn Fitness, sent her some real just nasty messages. Was just saying like she needs to either I don't even know how to describe it. He either needs to do some
Hmm.
do some oral sensations or
Mm.
um or stop talking. It was very inappropriate. Some things you don't say to somebody.
Yeah.
But dude pretty much was calling them out and was telling them, "Hey, yo, so this isn't okay." And in the last video, dude commented and was like, "Hey, take that down. It's got my picture in it. Otherwise, I'm taking legal action." So Duke and Don, like a real one, was like, "Hey, you want me to say something? Take it down on the like come on the show, and we're gonna talk about it." So got him on the show. They were talking about it, and believe it or not, lightning struck twice because Abba from Abba and Preach just so happened to be watching the podcast. So this is right before Abba comes in, and let's just go ahead and get into it. I've talked enough. All right, you ready, bro?
Yeah, let's get it started for real.
You gonna let them know? You let them know?
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I don't got no problems with them, bro.
Huh? Get them on right now. Hold up, let me get this link sent up.
That's crazy how Abba was just like, you know what? Nah, I need to chime in.
Yeah, he just happened to be there. That's crazy. Okay, let's see. So I'm looking for. Looks like we might need to skip up a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and
Say
skip
the
up.
360 blessings over here regarding the post and everything.
I
Hey,
know.
young man. Hey, young man. I'm not yelling at
Oh,
you.
there
We're
it
good, all
goes.
right? So it's not going to
Wait.
be hostile, okay? Not to stress.
It's top of Abba head right
Not to
now.
stress, all right? So we're just having a discussion. I'm not going to go wild on you because we disagree. Cool?
Hey, bro. Before we start, bro, I'm a fan, bro. Shout out to you. Thank you
I
for
I
being on the
respect it. I
platform.
respect it. The reason why I wanted to talk to you was not so I could come here and flame you. That's not how I roll, all right?
I just want to stop and I just want to give respect to how like Abba handles himself and how he approaches people. Because
Hmm.
you see, this is somebody, and he could clearly come in and be like, "Hey, f you, little Emma," just going in. But he's just
Hmm.
got like that character about him where it's like he's gonna approach people respectfully. Like if you don't disrespect Abba, I don't see him being a very disrespectful person to you. But we've seen kind of in the last couple of days what can happen when you are
Exactly.
disrespectful towards Abba and Preach. So we'll see. But yeah, you got anything on that? You ready to go?
Oh yeah, no, we can keep watching.
Yeah, let's get it.
Cool. You guys can see me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can see your
All
life
right.
nice
Well,
and
you,
clear.
you guys don't have to forgive me. I'm on vacation right now, so the setup is not great. But I figured I would just come on here because I thought it'd be cool to talk and have a good conversation in regards to this stuff because I appreciate the young blood and I know we have a difference of opinion surrounding this, but we'll talk, all right? And we'll try to keep everything calm. Cool.
Yep. All right.
All right. So, question: what are some of the disagreements that you had with how we handle things in general, Mr. Blessings?
You could just call me 360, sir. My biggest gripe was, sir, I didn't find it. appropriate on how you guys went on the platform
Mhm.
at first, and you guys didn't say nothing. And let me just finish my whole train of thought. You
Sure.
guys didn't say nothing. Not only did you not say nothing, your colleague or associate or friend preach was just being passive aggressive the whole time. He was just making like he looked like he wanted to take a shit. No offense, I'm not trying to be funny, but that's how he looked. And then you
Mm.
guys addressed it 4 weeks later, and I heard your comeback saying that um somebody sent a fan sent us this and said we should do a reaction. But come on, bro, that
Okay.
sounds like you
Okay.
call
All right. So can I ask?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna
before
say
he
let's
gets,
pause it. So
yeah,
I actually agree with that particular point because, like I said, I've been watching, so I'm familiar, and so I just felt like it was kind of disingenuous um for Abba to just make the video like because it was kind of out of nowhere. Other than that, that's really my only complaint. It was just like, well, I get it. He went on the show, and then he was like, oh, okay, so we're Blue Pill, but I feel like that could have been a phone call or a text message. Like, just
yeah,
y'all could have resolved that, but without going to the show, without getting on YouTube, and then expressing this. So it does feel like it's for views or whatever because it seems like it really could have just been a phone call or whatever the case may be. I'm not seeing the integrity.
yeah. Facts. I agree. Initially, when I was first hearing about it, I had to catch up on what had happened. And from what I understand, the issue initially popped off when the dudes over on Fresh and Fit were insult like talking about Abin Preach, calling them like blue pill, calling them soft beta, kind of pretty much.
Hmm.
And then after that, it seems like they actually went on, or Abba at least went on to the platform and
Hmm.
popped up, hey guys, so he came and he did actually address it, like, okay, so you guys are calling me blue pill, like what's the deal with that? But I did also think when I first like kind of heard about this, like, well, why didn't y'all just address all of it then and
Right.
handle it all right then? Like it seemed a little bit strange to me that they sat there and they like had that business relationship going, running, and then after that it kind of turned around and just pretty much took a dump on it. Like that video, like I've seen a bunch of people classify it as, oh, they were just talking about the ideas. Like no, Abba and Preach were very clearly calling them beta, like calling them
Yeah.
fake, fake alphas, fraud. Like it's there were things being said there that were clearly going to be seen as insults. And I mean,
Hmm.
of course, that's not excusing the Fresh and Fit response to it, which was crazy, but. I feel like that was a valid critique. So I'm kind of interested to see, what
Yeah, I was
Ava
gonna
has to
say
say to
let's get
respond to
it.
this. Yeah, so let's get to it.
Do you feel like the way we covered Myron and Fresh? Do you think like the way we covered those two is any different than how we cover our daily videos every day?
Nope.
You watch our content, so you know. How do we talk about Skippy? How do we talk about Amanda Seals? How do we talk about anyone? Do we talk
I
about them
mean,
any differently?
you the first one,
Hold on, I'll let you talk, right? So I just need you to answer the
the first
question.
one,
Do we cover them any differently?
the first time, no.
Okay. So we don't cover them any differently. That's one.
But
Two.
you shouldn't have covered them. You should have said it right then and there, sir.
Have you ever had a conversation with somebody? Okay, because we didn't expect to have a debate on prostitution. We had no idea. They brought it up to us, so we weren't even prepared for it. Okay, that's
Hmm.
one. Two. Have you ever looked back on something and had thoughts after the fact? You know what I'm saying? You ever seen something like had a memory of something you did and then think about it again? Has that ever
Yes, sir.
happened to you?
Yes, sir. I have. Yes, sir.
Exactly right. So that's all that happened to us. That's why we didn't come right. We had disagreements on the podcast, and they were strong disagreements in regards to prostitution. Did we have the same energy? I wouldn't say we did. And if you're trying to make that argument,
Sir,
I would
why
agree.
didn't
Hold on,
why didn't you
hold on.
why didn't you say that though?
I agree with you that we didn't have that exact same energy then. But you also have to understand when we find out later that these guys were actually paying, that these guys were actually, and you can disagree with it all you want. But I'm sorry. If you say, I will not pay somebody with cash money for sex. Why? Because I want burning desire. But then you'll also do afterwards say, I will not collaborate with women unless we get to fuck. That's not burning desire, brother. That's also transactional. You're saying, I will give you clout if you fuck me. Whether it's clout or money, are there a big difference between those two things? Can I ask?
Okay, but wait. Before we get to his response, we have to get ours. So your perspective, what do you think on that?
Well, okay. I mean, it's it's more of a solid response than I thought it would be. I think that so I think yes, it does fall in line with their channel's content. However, I mean, it's still I don't know, it's still very different because it's almost like those people that so we see the structure of their channel, right? We know how they make videos. But those people that they call out, like they don't I don't feel like they have the ability to reach out to them. You know what I'm saying? Like if they made a video about like Rihanna, right? Well,
Mm.
they don't necessarily have the resources to pull Rihanna and then actually talk to her about it. But Fresh and Fit, I feel like that's different. They actually have the resources, they have the the network to talk to each other like that. So I feel like this is a little bit different. What you think?
I think that it gives a little bit of credence to like the actual relationship that they had. In one of the videos when they were addressing the entire, the whole beef, like one of the previous ones, Abba made a point to say like these guys are not my friend. Like they're not our friends. Like they hit us up begging,
Hmm.
begging us to come on. And you got to think about it from their perspective at that point. All right, so you got this like smaller up and coming duo of YouTubers. They made a video talking shit about you, and then after that they turn around and they're like, hey, come on, you should come on our platform, you should come on our platform. And now they say they have the receipts to back that up. So far they haven't said anything without receipts. So far I feel like I can take most of what Abba says is base level, at base truth, as pretty much
Hmm.
as it is. So when you look at that whole thing from that perspective, I think it does make a little bit of sense. Now I do think that it is a little bit of a weak argument to kind of go to, oh, have you ever just thought back to something and rethought of something? But I think that it's also true as far as the fraud thing. That's true. That's the truth. If you're
Hmm.
saying that you're not paying for box, and your reason for not doing it is because you want to have just burning, passionate desire, like you want to take her soul, you want to take her soul.
Bruh.
Um,
You being too emotional. Hold on. You
Hold
being
on.
too emotional.
Let me lower my tone. But like, if you want to take her soul, if those are the things you want to do, then I feel like you can't in that same sentence turn around and say, look, you want to get on our pod, you want the clout, you want the reputation, you want the access to people that comes with that, you got to smash. Because first off, that's just creepy. It's
So
creepy. Like,
here's the thing. I think that I want to say like effectively. All right, Abba and Preach seem to have in some way kind of started, but Fresh and Fit have found a way to just kind of like they didn't have a professional response at all. Had they had like a professional response, I think that all of this kind of drama will be stirring up differently. Um, before we hit play again, let me ask you, how do you feel about um, Fresh buying a gun, and how do you feel about him like saying, like let's fight? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
um, on that one, I feel like it's real simple. Fresh was talking about flying out this man's wife, actively participating in assaulting this man's wife,
Hmm.
challenged him to a boxing match. It's not like he said all this, but he was just passive the whole time. Like he was saying all this, then said, "Hey, if you want to come box, hit us up." And then when the dude came to hit him up, he says, "No, we need to get promoters into this. We need to do all this other stuff, everything he can to dodge it." And then when pretty much responds and Preach says, "Look, it's not about money. I don't care about all that stuff." Then he goes and gets his first gun. And a bunch of people, I've seen a bunch of people saying, "Oh, he was going to get it anyway. He was talking about getting it anyway." But why would you challenge a man to a fight, be perceived as backing down from that fight, and then go and get a gun? It makes you look weak, bro. Just straight up. It makes you look weak if you talk a bunch of stuff and then it's like, as soon as stuff gets real, you go and you just get assisted.
Yeah.
Go get armed. They're like, okay, well, like obviously you didn't have that much faith in the stuff you were talking about being in the gym. That's how I feel like it looks. And personally, when I was looking at the whole thing, I unsubscribed. I subscribed for Fresh and Fit because of that. I was like, you can't teach people how to be men and act like that. Cause I'm very quick with the subscribe button. Like, listen, I don't hold on to them.
Yeah.
Like, a subscribe is free. So when I'm out there, I just, by the way, the guys, subscribe is free. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn that bell on, get the notifications. But the subscribe is free, so I just throw them out there. And by me just throwing them out there, if I come across somebody and I think they have some good content, then I'll just throw it. So with Fresh and Fit, I believe maybe it was some of their financial stuff that I was listening to or something like that. But I was subscribed to them. So seeing this, unfortunately, I had to remove that. And I mean, maybe if they learn from it, I can put some of it back. But they have to really show that they understand what they preach, because they preach accountability. But then I don't feel like they've really taken much. They preach being careful what you say, because you understand that there's a constant threat of violence. But they called this man's wife a whale and talked about who insults Haiti in Miami.
Yeah, that's a little different. That's real different. Like, so
Where do they do that at?
I wish I wish I could see through a different set of lens, like what would happen if they never insulted Preach, if they never insulted his wife, or his culture. And I would like to also wish I could see what would happen if if Fresh was never like, oh well, let's fight then, nigga, let's fight. And so that's kind of what's frustrating. Like, don't be on some fight shit, oh, let's go, and then, hey y'all, I'm on Insta buying a blicky, gotta get the blicky.
Facts.
So
Yeah.
it's just, it could have been coincidental, sure, I'll give it the credit, but I don't know, it's too coincidental. Like, he could have bought a gun at any other time, and then he chose now, and then it's already like they're running from the fight, or have, you know decided not to fight. So it's just like, come on, bruh.
And then it's like, even if it was an appointment, even if you were gonna do it anyway, just don't post it on your Instagram. That's really where the thing was. Like, you talking to this guy that looks like, like the black Goldberg, and and he's talking about like, oh yeah, we got solutions and defense classes, and it's like, okay, so now what that's making me think is that Preach just looked at that camera, hit you with one of these, and just looked into your soul
My
and
thing,
brought the bitch out.
it's like, how is another man able to look at you via video and make you buy a gun? Like, what kind of red pill? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not very of the red pill they preach. And that's just, I see where they're coming from. I see where Abba and Preacher coming from, because it's like, y'all niggas are pretty much blackmailing women into trying to like sleep with you. And number two, you claim, oh, bro, we got plenty bitches, but then the seeking arrangements account, which I didn't watch the episode where he was explaining how to get sugar for free. But if I had to guess, he's probably just like, oh, look at me, look at my money. Like, you may get some of this, and like, I feel like it's maybe more so a trick type of thing, like a rabbit, I'm sorry, a carrot on a stick type of thing. That's probably how he reels them in. So I didn't even have to watch that. Like, I feel like that's what he does after seeing his personality. So
I'm not gonna speak too much on that because I didn't watch the video either, and I don't want to. But based on what I saw, it's kind of like it's not congruent. It's not congruent, because first off, it's like, okay, so if you really are about not paying for it, why are you even on the sugar site? Like, so you're saying that you specifically go to this site that's made for sugar babies and sugar dads, and you make an account and you actively go seeking only so that you can get girls that are looking for a sugar daddy and tell them, hey, I'm not going to give you any money. That sounds like it's just going to cause unneeded issues. Like, that's like going to a shoe store to buy a hamburger. That doesn't make sense. Like, why don't you just go over to all the other dating sites that you're already on and then just do it from there? It doesn't add up. So it's like, that's really the one thing that I'll say about that. I feel like with Fresh and Fit, they attacked Abba and Preach as people, which was not the best way to go about it because Abba and Preach's reputations are solid. But Abba and Preach attacked Fresh and Fit's merits, and that actually means something. And it's like you see in all these breakdowns they've been doing, where they like protect your reputation with your life. You know, like I've seen those. Like I read the books, and I think they're pretty interesting. But I think that there is a level of truth, and I think that by you kind of handling yourself in a way that's respectable, you avoid issues. And if you find yourself handling yourself in a way that's not respectable, you need to separate yourself from that situation because that's not anything. It's not anything positive. It's like something's bringing the worst out of you. You don't need to be around that.
I agree.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get back to it. We don't want to take all day.
Sir, I mean, I won't lie. That's a can of worms. That's a whole conundrum.
That's confirmed. That's confirmed. Because my
No, because
hold on. I can
let me just say.
You say it's a can of worms. I want to make it clear. Myron on his own podcast admits that he says, I don't collaborate with a lot of these women unless we fucking. He says it on his own podcast. So I'm not going off of rumors. I'm not going off some random text messages. He has said this. So you knowing that, I want to ask you, is there a difference between saying sex for clout or sex for money?
Bro, I mean, rappers get fucked off clout all the time, bro. That's not transactional.
That's not transactional.
Bruh, are you kidding me?
It's not transactional, bro.
Hold on. Why is it not
Bro,
transactional?
okay, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, bro.
No. Why is it not transactional?
By the way, he put it in the chat and got destroyed. Like,
bro, that's what women love in men, bro.
Right.
You understand?
And what if women love money in men? What's the difference?
They do too.
Exactly. So what's the difference? How is it not transactional?
It's not the fact that it's the fact that he could provide
This
you
is
with a
crazy.
different lifestyle.
Okay, I'm going to give you the definition of the word transaction. An instance of buying or selling something.
We're talking monetary.
Hold on. Let me finish. An instance of buying or selling something, a business deal. It has nothing to do with cash. People trade gold for services. People trade animal for services. People trade diplomacy for services. The idea of a transaction is not just cash. And you have to ask yourself, I want you to really think about it. Don't argue yet, but just think about
don't argue.
Logically speaking, if a girl comes to you and she says, I'll fuck you, but only if you post my name on Instagram, is that really different than if a girl says, I'll fuck you, but only if you give me $5? Think about it. Is that going to make you feel very different?
No.
So then there is no. That's all I'm trying to tell to you, brother. Listen, my thing is this. I'm not trying to tear down black men or anything like that. My thing is this. If you're in a leadership position, if you were a politician for a second, and you were corrupt, is me calling out a corrupt politician tearing down the black community if they're hurting the very people that they're supposed to represent?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is these men have a leadership position, right? You look up to them. Maybe you pay for their content. I don't know. There's other guys who pay thousands of dollars to go to their meet and greets, to learn from these guys. And if they're not practicing what they preach, if they're telling young men to do things that they themselves are not doing, don't you see how that could be hurtful? We already suffer for such bad leaders. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying this. I can disagree with somebody. You know, if they come on here and they say women are to be objectified and fuck off, that's their choice. I can live with somebody that I don't agree with. That's okay. What I have an issue with is when people lack integrity, when they preach one thing but do the opposite behind closed doors. When they say, guys, pay your taxes, but they don't pay them taxes themselves. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to get at. Go ahead, young man.
With all respect, Abba, like, yo, when we talk about transactional, I know what transaction is, man. I'm not a fucking idiot, but I'm not trying to come at you, but you know 100% what we talking about. Did you? I know. In your mind, it's still the same.
Where's he going with
It's
this?
still equated, but we're talking about, sir. Did you open your wallet and take out some blues to go and pay that female for pussy?
Nah, see, and this right here, that's disingenuous. That's how he's not being real. Because Abba just sat there and broke down exactly what it meant to be transactional. And the thing is, the logic is iron, because even if he was to make the argument that Myron had specifically spoken of financial, then they will be able to have that. But Myron didn't. What they said is that they don't pay for it because they want a woman to have a burning desire. That's what they said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Burning desire. That's what they said. So
Yeah.
there's no point of this. And what, like, I saw that screenshot, those screenshots. There's no point of that. That's a burning desire. She has a burning desire to out you. She has a burning desire to expose you. She might want to kick you down some stairs, but she absolutely does not want to have sex with you. And I
Absolutely
think
not.
that that's where he's being disingenuous now, because he's trying to move the goalpost now. They already said exactly what the argument was framed as. This argument is framed as this is a transaction, and it was already stated that transactional sex is not something that is going to cause the burning desire that they supposedly want. And then afterwards, they was able to prove that they are indeed having transactional sex, because even if you ignore the sugar daddy stuff, you still got the screenshots from them saying I smashed most of the girls on my show. Which, first off, kind of gross. Kind of gross.
I agree.
A lot. Maybe I'm a hater. I don't know, but that's a lot.
No, that's a lot. I mean, because how can you? Because they really be on some, hey, you got to just be like. I feel like they made their channel like kind of piggybacking off of Kevin Samuels. Shout out to KS. Um, because they were like, all right, high value man, and they took it and they were like, all right, red pill community, and they're trying to like merge it together. And so I get it. They're trying to like be like, all right, well, I'm a high value man in a red pill community. Do what I say. But like, it's if you so the red pill community is just I feel like it's knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So
See, but my
he's
thing
trying to
is,
apply the knowledge and not actually apply anything that he's not actually doing what he says he does. And I feel like
well,
that's why I've been preaching pretty much calling him out at this point.
I have to challenge what you just said, because based on how Kevin Samuels describes high value dudes, he's not. Like, realistically, almost nobody actually is gonna be a high value dude. It's gonna be like 1 out of 100 dudes. Like, it's gonna be 99 average Joes that don't get that treatment. It's like,
I
you
mean,
gotta be
but
realistic here.
does Myron consider himself as a high value man, right?
But based on whose definition, though, because, well, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. And let me just go ahead, so I'm not BSing. Yes, he does consider himself a high value man, but my whole thing is, when you look at the performance here, when you look at what's going down here, when you look at kind of the reaction to it, then it's like, does this fit your definition of high value? Like, yeah, like you can make as much money as you want, but I feel like there's a reason why certain people exclude, like, entertainers and athletes, because they have a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
So in this situation, it's almost like, I feel like a bunch of people made a really good point. A bunch of Fresh and Fits people are like coming from Miami, and they might fly some people in, but it's, for the most part, usually girls that have very similar mind states, but those mind frames are kind of unrealistic. And I feel like that's a big point. So he's being disingenuous here. I just have to say. You got anything else you want to say before we go ahead and get back to it? I just had to stop that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and watch the rest of Abba.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't have much more. All right.
That's what I can never get my mind around.
But you have to understand what he's trying to explain is it's not transactional.
I understand.
But you're talking strictly monetary though. Could form a transaction that isn't just.
Thank you.
I understand.
Exactly.
Look, sir. This is really what triggers me is the money aspect. To give money for it, that's the thing that blows my mind.
Okay.
Anything
Can I
else?
ask you? Have you ever had a job?
I just got to stop you right here. If you are so morally against paying financially for it, but you are not against somebody saying, I will not bring you on my platform unless you do this act, then I feel like this right here is showing a level of bias, or like a level of, like, he's not going, these dudes are his heroes. Like, because at this point in time, there is a clear cognitive dissonance. You feel me? Like, am I tripping?
Well, let me chime in. He pretty much is like big on the money, on the monetary value. Fine, let's go with that, right? You still, according to that Kevin Samuel stream, like, niggas, you're gonna pay in some way. Did you use gas to pick her up? Did you You know what I'm saying? You bought Netflix, Hulu, you took it to the movies. I mean, like you're gonna do something to pay for it in some type of way. He's talking about some. Oh, once you open up your wallet, bro, you're gonna crack open your wallet in some type of way. In some type of way.
And here's the thing though, even let's say you don't, right? Let's say that you are just the most MacGyver type of person, just inventive when it comes to coming up with dates. You can just come up with all kinds of stuff. If you have to spend about 40 hours to set up a decent date, then congratulations, sir. That's a business week. You know what I'm saying? Like time is money. So regardless,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to make some investment. There's every relationship, period. Friendship, romantic, everything, any relationship that you have with anyone, even in business, is going to be based on your investment in that relationship. If you don't invest into a relationship, then you cannot expect to get anything out of it. So I just don't get it why all these dudes seem to think that like why is the goal to be cheap? You feel me?
Yeah.
Why is the goal to be cheap? It doesn't make sense to me. But I I don't know. Maybe I'm blue pill. Maybe I'm blue pill. Maybe that's what it is. I don't claim to be any pill. I don't know what I would fall under, but I just know that there's like there's knowledge to be found everywhere. So I like to just look around and like, get it. But I think this is where he starts to shut down. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get back to it. I didn't mean to rant. My bad, bro.
You good.
Of course I have.
And on your pay stub, what does it say when you get paid?
Hours worked, net pay,
Right.
net tax.
So you understand that when they're giving you money, it's for the hours that you put in.
Yeah,
Right. So they're putting a monetary value on your hours, on your time.
time
Do you
and effort.
understand the idea that everything
Time is money.
See,
hold
this
up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Everything is a commodity. That's business 101. Your truck is a commodity. If you said to a girl, I'll fuck you, all I can give you is my truck, that's no better than giving her 30 grand. It has monetary value. Do you understand?
Look, guys,
Your time, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. It's important because right now I don't think you understand your
I
argument.
understand.
Your
I
argument.
understand.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
No,
I heard
preach.
what your argument.
Abba,
You
Abba.
said,
Let him
I'll open up
let
your
him
wallet.
finish.
Don't ever be too busy trying to get your point across that you're not listening to what the other person is saying.
All right.
That's all I gotta say on
Let him
that.
finish. 360. Let him finish. Let him finish.
You said open up your wallet. There is no difference, brother. I'm telling you this. I'm being honest with you. I think right now you're holding on to a terrible idea. I don't know if it's out of pride or I don't know if you're just being stubborn for no reason, but it makes no
it is
sense.
pride.
Hold up,
No,
hold up.
it is
Hold
pride.
up. You
It is
can't
pride.
logically explain why it's any different to say, oh, I'll give you clout, and that's not transactional, but then you're saying that money opening up your wallet is. You can't give me a logical clue here. So you need to think about why you're holding on to this so dearly. Go ahead.
So, Abba, if you came here earlier, Duke will confirm that I actually said that it is weird. I don't believe that you should leverage that type of stuff. I would never really do it because of how I was raised. I would never do that. But the thing is, I understand.
You'll never do that, but you'll send a girl a message that she should go perform oral services on someone or shut up.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind for later.
What you're saying from a transactional perspective, bro. Check me out, bro. I understand what you're saying from a transactional perspective, but what bugs me is actually using your money. It's an ego thing. I understand.
Okay,
I
I'm not mad at
understand.
that. I'm not mad at that. You know
Yeah.
what though? I'm not mad at that. But you
But
also
I
have to
agree
admit-
with you. I agree with you
Okay.
100%.
Okay, but then you can't. If it bothers you personally, like if you say for me,
That's
I
me.
could
Yeah,
never
that's
do that. Hold up, I could agree, but you can also have to admit that your stance is not logical, right? It's not, and you can hold up. You can hold on to it, and you're entitled to it. But then to go out and say, well, what they're doing is not that bad. Maybe it's not that bad to you personally, but in the world where we have these general concepts, we all have to agree on certain things. It is 100%
Facts.
transactional to say clout for sex. It is
Facts.
100% to say transactional to say I'll give you 2 baby goats if you fuck me. Okay, it's the same concept.
That's what.
Money is, you know what money is? It's just a representation of commodity. That's all
Boom.
it is.
Oh shit.
And I agree with you. 100%.
Ooh, the
So
facts.
what is your hang up then on?
And bro, clout is a currency. Clout is a currency. Money is a currency. All of these things, these are currencies. There are trades being made here. That's why they say it's transactional. That's why it's disingenuous Like you can't say, "Oh, I'm specifically against this because you're giving money." That just means that you're too much focusing on the financial aspect of it, and you're not seeing the big picture. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. You feel me?
Yeah.
And dude is so ready to respond, he's not actually listening and
He's not
absorbing the
listening to the
information.
points at
Yeah,
all.
it's just going in one ear out the other
He
one,
just wants to win the argument type of thing. Like he's
which
not
is
actually
impossible. It's
listening.
impossible
So
here. Like we talking to some dudes, like dudes that are older than you, dudes in their 40s. Look, sometimes you just gotta listen, man. These dudes aren't just talking for no reason.
facts.
No,
Just
I just
the
I
actual
personally-
understanding that there's a whole ecosystem surrounding it.
brother. I think he's explained it kind of clearly. He just holds on to this idea, and I'm not mad at
Yeah.
it. So you know what? That's your
That's
idea,
just
but
my
just
I
understand, it
understand
doesn't
it. You
apply
guys
to the
are
real
100. No, you guys are 100% accurate and right. I'm not disclaiming it,
Yeah.
but I just personally can't do that. I don't believe in that.
And that's okay.
Subjectively,
And that's
wrong.
okay. But when we're having a discussion about these two guys, and they say don't do transactional sex, yet they do clout chasing sex, it's the same thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So it's fine for you personally, and I'm not mad at you. You never have to do that. But what I'm trying to tell you is that they are doing that. And if you deny that because of your own definition of the word, then we can't have a conversation.
I'm not denying. Look, I said my own subjective.
Okay, then we good.
Listen,
if you're not denying it, we good.
listen, I said my own subjective feeling. I know that that's transactional, bro.
But then you also have to have the same energy when
I
you're
was
dealing
like,
with
case closed, bruh.
Hold on, wait, pause. Is this a Fresh and Fit stand arguing his feelings over the facts?
Feelings.
Feelings? Oh, you kind of emotional
You
right now, bro.
360, you emotional, bro.
Oh
aspects
no!
of it aside from that.
And Abba, listen to this though. You have to understand the fact that don't women leverage pussy for other stuff? Don't they?
100%.
Yeah.
So
Hands
here's
down.
What's
an
wrong with
example.
him doing it? Why is it wrong for him to do it?
It's
the
the
Wait,
overt
what?
nature he went about it. Go ahead, Abba.
So here's an
Oh.
example. If a girl says,
Bruh,
I'll let
come
you have
on.
my pussy if you let me in this club for free, that's transaction.
Right,
100%.
right.
I'm not a hypocrite.
Well, why
It's all
can't she
transaction.
do it?
But
Why
what
can't
I'm
she do it?
But my point is, when they come up here and they talk about genuine desire, burning, that's what they say, right?
Thank you. He's not seeing the hypocrisy here.
Genuine burning desire.
Yo.
You gotta have the souls. You
Yo.
gotta have the souls.
I want to take her soul. I'm dead, bro.
You're approaching them. You're like, I'll give you clout if you let me fuck. That's not burning desire. That's what I mean when I say
That's
that.
crazy.
You know a line is corny when it kills the whole room, bro.
Look up to have integrity, to practice what they preach. If a man was telling you to get on a treadmill and work out every day, yet this motherfucker's 400 pounds, would you not look at him funny?
Right, so I'm pretty sure. Like, correct me
Yes
if
or
I'm-
no, bro? Yes or no? Just say
Would
it
you
before you
not
move
look
on.
at that man funny?
Hey, can you stop gumbo diplomacy in my ass? Come on, bro, dude. Like, yo. So I'm pretty sure, right, that these dudes were probably getting pussy when they weren't that high up there, bro.
That's completely irrelevant,
I'm
though.
just saying,
We
bro.
have no proof. So
We have
That's
no
completely
proof.
irrelevant.
I'm gonna assume. What I do
We
have
can't
proof
say
of,
we
I'm
can't
gonna
say
tell
they
you what I
didn't.
have proof of. I'm gonna tell you what I have proof of 100%. They tell these women, if you want to collab, we only fuck it. That's it.
All of
So,
them.
I'm not all of them, but some of them. It doesn't matter if it's all of them or some
Yo,
of
they
them.
be
That's not
having
the
some
point.
ugly
That's not
ass
the point. That's not the point.
What is wrong with this man?
Tell other people
Yo.
that you want burning desires, so don't do transactional sex, and you do it. Do you understand that? There's a hypocrisy there that's big.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, no.
Listen, I'm not here.
He just mentally clocked out, or he had a text or
I don't
something.
give a
That
fuck
boy
what
checked
people
out.
do behind closed doors. That's their business. What I can't stand is you preach something like a Garrett Jackson who be out here telling these black women that they don't never mess with no man who's unloyal. Yet this
And that boy
motherfucker
was
cheated.
slaying
How
it,
is that different?
left and
I see
right.
y'all cover him. I see. Hey, that was a great.
And how did I come at
great
Derek?
show.
Let me ask you, how did I come at Derek? Did we not come at
You
Derek?
was
with
like,
some
man,
fun?
y'all was on his ass.
So what's up? So I tell you, I don't care if it's a nigga I know, someone I work with. It doesn't matter. If you out here being a fraud and you're hurting the next generation of people, you deserve to get called out. That's all I'm saying. And it's the same for me. If y'all came out and found out tomorrow that I'm robbing my mom and I'm doing all this other bullshit, I hope you guys hold me accountable.
Facts.
I hope. You want to know why? Because I'm out here talking about accountability, yet I'm robbing the very woman who brought me into this world. How can I even move in this place? You feel me?
Bingo.
There's one key thing that you said, right? And I
Okay.
think that if you would have put that in a video, you know how you came in and you just said that you were you remembered it way later on. to say that whole thing where something comes to you later on, a
Mhm.
thought, and you said it. If you would have said that, I think this would have mitigated so much of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
But
for me,
I want you to peep this. I want you to peep this. When I
and you're
made that, I
not.
want you to peep this. When I
What's up?
made that video, the first one that kind of started everything, we had 4 other videos from that same podcast. Some where we agreed and some where we disagreed. That we were gonna publish one after the other. Okay. When I put that one out, I didn't even consider that it was gonna blow up like this. It was, and I know everyone doesn't believe that because they're like, the art of war. This man was preparing tactics.
Oh,
Bruh, it's not
wow.
even that deep. I swear. How could I predict that Myron was gonna lose his mind and go crazy like that and act half emotional? How could I predict?
See, and this right here is interesting because there have been plenty of videos saying this whole thing was planned. Like,
Mm.
what do you think? You think you think it just happened? You think it just
Well,
popped up and happened?
him explaining it now does provide me with some clarity, because I did initially feel like, like Abba and Preach just kind of like went for him. Like I said in the beginning, like I feel like they went for him when they could have just, hey, ring, ring, ring. Hey, bro, I don't quite like what you said, or however they want to handle it, whatever the case may be. So I think this particular clarity works for me, um, and so I think it's valid. I think that is valid. Especially if they had a few other videos that they were gonna put out, and then it just kind of happened this way. Okay, I believe that, and that does make sense. So,
Yeah,
I,
yeah, I can see it, and it's
eh,
a totally valid story. Yeah,
so I agree with the point. I get it.
but I will say though that hey, I mean, it's good story, it's valid, but the third law of power is conceal your intentions, and the fourth law of power is always say less than necessary.
Mm,
So it can kind of go both ways, but I'll be willing to take his word for it because it does all check out. So let's go ahead and see what we got.
okay.
That French was gonna be like, oh, let's box. You can't make that shit up. You can't write that in a script. So what I'm
No,
trying to say is,
I
I
wasn't.
get what you're saying, and I probably, but you know how we film our videos? We shoot them one time. We go straight. We don't prepare, and we just go. So sometimes things get left out. It's not malicious. Okay, it's not some big conspiracy. I promise you, brother. If we didn't say that, the only reason is because we just didn't think of it in the moment. That's
Okay,
all.
okay. Let me just end it up on one thing. I know you're a busy guy, man, but can you actually acknowledge the fact that these guys have so many other programs on their show that actually helps men change their life
Hold up.
and talk about feelings and things that men go through, how men can't like express feelings and how we go through suicides and all these depressions and stuff like that people don't know? Can you at least acknowledge that so the general public can see that I'm just not
I
here
want
trying
you
to.
to listen. I want
Yeah,
you to listen. I want you
Hold
to
on, wait.
listen.
Let's
yeah.
let's.
At the end of the day, the
Oh,
truth remains the truth.
hold on.
Hold on. I'm gonna play the clip. You can't say no. You can't. Hold up. Hold up.
Hold
Yeah.
on, wait.
You can't. No, no. I want to be clear. This. You can't say these guys do a lot of other good things. Look at the nuance, and then look at Derek Jackson and say he's.
So I skipped forward a little bit here, but that's because he has to find it for a second. But he's going to end up playing the portion where
Mhm.
he actually did acknowledge where Fresh and Fit do have good things. But I feel like if you're standing on principle, that it's like somebody can have good traits. Everything's not black and white. Like somebody's not terrible because there's one bad thing about them. But you can acknowledge the bad things and that there's good coming along with it.
True.
All bad. That's not how it works. It's not because it's the guys that you like that they can be looked at nuancely, but then Derek Jackson is just all terrible. No, Derek had some good
Shit
points.
though, bro.
Derek made
I listened
videos
to that
that I
guy's
agreed
video. I
with.
almost threw up, bro. That dude is a capper, dog. Be careful.
It's like I said, like just like we were talking about with Fresh and Fit, how you talk about they have the Monday show and whatnot to help men and help you with your business and finances. Is the exact same thing with Derek Jackson and some of the messages that he spills to these women. But here's the thing, but doesn't make the fact that some of the messages that he puts out there also is also harmful to those said women he helps. The exact same thing with Fresh and Fit, and I think that's what he's trying to get at.
Hold up, right here. I'm gonna play it for you.
Right now.
But this is the game. When I was listening to Patrice, we didn't call it red pill. We just called it the truth. These niggas is fronting on some points. That doesn't mean they're not helpful to you. Maybe if you're one of their fans, right? Maybe they help you with finances, fitness. Maybe even they helped you with dating. I don't know. But all right? So I mentioned it. I mentioned the fact that they may be helping people with that stuff. I'm not unfair. I'm not someone who says throw the baby out with the bathwater. Okay? I'm not crazy like that. I understand that people are complicated. That just because you're a giant fuck up in one area, that you can't be helpful in others. That's not, the human experience is complex. And that's true for Derek Jackson, the same way it's true for these guys, the same way it's true for everybody. So I agree with you there. But it doesn't change the fact that if you're doing something, it's like a corrupt politician. The corrupt politician may help people from time to time. You should still call out that corruption. It's no different.
Facts.
Last thing I want to say is
I thought the last thing was the last thing.
Right.
Tell us about Preach, how he's handling the situation. Is he gonna keep on?
That's
going
kind of a
at
good
him,
question. I'm not
or-
gonna lie.
Man, listen, I don't talk to Preach daily about this kind of stuff. I think he's a grown man who makes his own decisions.
Mm.
Like, we work together on this platform, but he has his own life, you know. So at the end of the day, I tell him, hey, it's your wife, it's your country. You handle that how you want
Facts.
to handle it.
Preach might still be looking for fresh.
trying to like.
It's
Press
not
it.
my place. It's not my place. It's not my place to tell him what to do. I can counsel.
No,
him.
I'm talking about both of you. Like, are you guys gonna make another video that's gonna like press them or something, or like?
Potentially.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna be on their ass until we get that apology. Like serious or something. Like it has to be what.
Look, they have to run a real apology, or they have to run a one.
Okay, wait. I do wanna kind of talk on the apology just for a quick sec. So the apology that they put on their Patreon or something, I think
Their Instagram or something like that. Yeah.
well, they put one on like their personal platform or Patreon first, and then Myron put one on Instagram, and it wasn't an apology to the fans. Like they keep apologizing to the fans, but they should be apologizing to obviously Preach. Like y'all need to
Exactly.
apologize to Preach. So that's all I want to
And
say.
that's the reason. No, and that's the reason that everybody is pretty much reacting this way, is because you can't put the challenge up and then back out like that. And then it's like, no, you have to look this man in his face and apologize to him. He needs a real apology, not a we lost 30,000 subscribers, so let's go ahead and like stop the bleeding apology. Like, no, bro, like that's messed up. And it's like by them doing all of this stuff surrounding it, it's almost seems like they don't actually care. Like they're not taking accountability. Like they don't feel like it was messed up. Like, oh, I said sorry. Why are you still mad? No, you gotta keep. you gotta be real with it. You gotta mean it. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
So
But here, let me just ask one question to you, 360, real quick, right? While everyone's here. Now, going back to that message you sent, like to Anna Quinn Fitness.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
what do you have to say in terms of like,
I'm not
is it
saying
something that's
I'm not saying
why
sorry.
not? So you thought that was appropriate then?
I'm not saying sorry, and this is the reason why. That podcast changed my life. It's done shit. I would not be, bro. You guys just want to hate. Look, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the people on the subscribers and the viewers. They just want to hate. These dudes have changed my life. I was able to get my credit score, rise that up, buy a truck, do all this other stuff, bro. Like,
Okay.
What-
Okay.
Wanna-
Let me ask you. Let me ask you
That's-
something. Let me ask you something.
That's besides
Yeah.
the point.
I feel like everything that they've said during this entire conversation just
We went
Wait.
over his head.
that is insane. So they literally explained to him why everybody's upset. Now he's like, y'all are just haters. He just spent like 6 minutes breaking down hypocrisy. Okay, whatever.
You said you won't say anything about that because these guys improved your life. So you gonna ride with them no matter what because they helped you out?
I'm loyal, Apple. I mean, yeah, I'm a
So
very.
what happens tomorrow if you find out they're touching kids? You still
Bro,
loyal?
like, that's different. Come on, bro.
Okay.
That-
No, I just want to understand. So there is a line for you where you stop supporting them, correct?
Bro,
Correct?
it's reasonable, bro.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Because you're not saying you're 100% loyal no matter what. You're saying as long as these guys don't go too crazy, I'm willing to accept the fact that they do some fucked up
Bro,
shit. Correct?
nothing's perfect, bro. Nothing's perfect. Come on, man.
I don't
Oh,
disagree. Now let me ask you this, okay? Do you think it's fair that these guys put out her IG and her full name on that podcast for everyone to go and harass her?
Bro, her name, bro. You don't have to. You could type her name into Instagram and you'll see it pop up,
Well,
bro.
I don't disagree, but listen, they had a private conversation in the DMs, right? And then
Oh,
he said,
she
hold
went
up, hold
to
up,
the
hold up,
screen.
hold up, no. And then he went to his own podcast, talked about this situation, misrepresented it a little bit, and then put it out for his fans. And he put the link to it to his fans and say, y'all can go talk to her if you want.
It's an important part right here because it's like
mm.
put it out there. There's a difference between showing evidence and what happens, and putting. What Myron does is he has this joke where he'll be like, oh, send them your pics.
Oh, oh, right,
And
right.
so he got like that little joke or whatever. I've seen that one, and I don't think that's what he did there. But if you're sicking your fans on somebody, that is a form of harassment, especially if you have a massively bigger audience than them. It's like, imagine if you said something to Rihanna that she didn't like, and she tweets you out. Like, you got to change phone plans at that point. Like,
Yeah, you gotta run
you're
for real.
done.
For
Yeah,
real.
you're done.
Do you think
He's
that's
being
okay to do?
disingenuous.
Look, bro, I can't really delve into that situation, bro.
Well, of course you
that's
can,
not
bro,
really
brother.
safe.
You DM'd her yourself.
Why you sent a message? What?
Yeah, bro, because I know what that podcast means. It's done so much for my life.
But that's
Like,
not my point. That's not my point. You understand that there's something unethical about taking a person's name and their thing and sending it to your fans so they can go harass the person?
that is 100% unethical. I can't lie about that.
Right. And I'm saying you participate in that. Don't you see how that reflects poorly on you as well?
It
You
doesn't.
went in and you sent her a foul
What?
message, my friend.
It does. I did because I had to, bro. I had to.
You had to?
Foul message?
Hey, bro. If I look. Okay, let's take it your way, right? If I said, hey, Anna Quinn, I don't like what you did. This podcast is way more than just you. It could teach men so much more. Would I have gotten a response? Would I have been here? Would I have been able to tell these people about how much this podcast
Bro,
is improved and how
What?
Oh, so he also no, I get it now. He's running on that all publicity is good publicity thought process. He's like, it doesn't matter how you get there, it matters the goal. He's looking at it right now like, yo, I'm on here with Duke and Don. I would done hopped in the live stream. I done made it. So it's like, if I had not taken that terrible action, will I have been in this scenario? So that's probably what it is. It's
If that
probably
was his intentions, then I don't want to comment on that. But that's crazy. That's his thought process. That's what I'll say.
send girls foul messages.
That's
It's
crazy.
it's not cool. If
Yeah,
you do
that
it,
part's not cool.
yeah, don't do that. Like, if you're being mean and you can't stop being mean, block them. Like, you stop talking to that person. Like, jeez, man.
Backwards, bro. I want you to think about this, okay? Earlier, you said something that was interesting. I thought it was kind of crazy, but it was interesting. You said, I can never pay your box. Imagine what your mom would say. Imagine what your mom would find out and think if she found out that you were DMing women foul things because you're very loyal to a friend. Do you think that's a good look? Do you think that's a good look for your character? Huh?
She know I'm kind of crazy, bro. Like, I
Yo.
do what I gotta do. Like,
What does that
and we're not all the
mean?
same. Look, if I would have done what you guys would have done, hey, this world would be boring if we were all the same. There's some extreme personalities and characters like myself. There's some calmer people like you and your buddy Preach and Duke and Don. You know what I'm saying?
You went to a woman you don't know to say foul things to her.
This stuff happens.
Hold
Look,
up, hold up.
you can single
went
me
to a
out,
woman
but
you
this
don't know
stuff
to say
happens all
foul
the time.
things to her.
Guys
You and
slide
other
into
hundreds of
DMs
people.
saying
You don't think that?
crazy
Hey,
stuff.
So would it be fine? So let me ask you then. In that case, since it's all just entertainment and fun, should I go to my 1.4 million people, take your name, your image, and then go tell them what you think? Do you think that would be ethical?
Look, bro, I'm a nobody. If you want to go and do it, you could do it. Give me a couple
See,
tips.
bro,
This
see?
dude
Trust me, I'm
here,
finna have
See?
bro.
I'm
Clout is a drug,
I'm
man.
saying you
Clout
could
is
go
a
do it, but it
drug.
ain't gonna affect me, bro.
Clout's a drug.
I'm not.
I am.
Young man, you know what? If you're the kind of man, if Fresh and Fit is breeding you into this kind of man, I think 100%.
This is always who I've been. I'm a
No.
little.
I'm gonna say this because you're saying out of loyalty to them, you're gonna go say foul things to strangers,
Look,
bro.
I'm not loyal to.
I don't
look,
think you realize how crazy.
Abba, this is what you're not getting.
That is
I'm
pretty
talking about
crazy.
the podcast. I don't care about Fresh and Fit or
They
Fresh and
are the podcast.
No,
No, what are you talking
about
about?
the
Bro,
material. I
this
care about
dude's
the material.
off.
You're feeding into the person. That's not what I care about.
The person behind the podcast. What are you talking about? They're the one who created it.
And this is what we call an emotional argument.
He's getting into some emotions.
It's like this right here is, and what's so funny is that this community of people are the main ones that are like, oh, your feelings don't matter, facts over your feelings. But this whole thing has been feelings. It's been getting logically A plus B equals C, and then he's just like F.
Mm-mm.
Like, oh my
It's
gosh.
crazy to me that you talked earlier about we need to support other black creators and all this stuff. And yet these guys will
Don't even come there, bro. You're the one trying to break them down and do all this stuff.
It's not breaking them down if they insult them on their show, though. You haven't even addressed that fully.
You can't.
You know what? This is sad. And I'm gonna tell you, bro. This is sad. And one day, I promise you, bro, you're gonna look back on this moment and realize that you sending that DM and then you coming on this podcast afterwards to defend that shit is crazy. You also need to have some accountability for what you did, brother. Nobody made you go do that. You did, and you owe that woman an apology because
Facts.
fucking foul.
Facts.
It was foul, bro.
Suck a dick thought, bro.
You have it straight from me. I'm not apologizing. I'm standing on what I said.
If I personally knew you, okay, and you said that to my family, I promise you I'd catch
Smoke.
you on the streets. That's crazy,
bro.
Don't be messaging random women crazy shit like that, bro.
Look, bro.
Yeah, you gonna get your ass beat.
I live in San Francisco, California. If you want to come and see me, I'm outside, bro.
What's wrong with these
That's the
dudes,
mindset
bro?
right there we're talking about, bro. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about
But if you want to come see me, bro, I'm not
obviously,
bro. I'm right here. You feel me?
Hey, man, these are the kind of men that Fresh and Fit are breeding. I'm very sorry to hear that.
Why is that kind of fact?
Abba, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So that's pretty much it. That was old dude who came. What's his name? 360 Blessings. Who decided he wanted to send a messed up message. Was able to actually speak to Abba, get Abba's perspective on it, and then afterwards stood on what he said. So, what do you think, man?
I think this was a very, very interesting stream. Shout out to Duke and Don again. Shout out to Abba and Preach. But I think this was very interesting because it almost gives you some insight as to, all right, what is Fresh and Fit really breeding this type of nigga? And number two, like, how are you able to, he's finding comfort in like being toxic. So where's that coming from? Like, what is that stemming from? And he's like, yeah, I'm crazy. My mom knows I'm crazy. Like, I've always been crazy. Like, that's not a valid reason to DM these, that woman like these things. Like, that's crazy. He's not taking accountability, and he's just as bad as like the women that Fresh and Fit preach that women don't take accountability. He's just as bad as the average person not taking accountability. So I think that like he's not listening. He's reacting with his emotions. He's being emotional. So I'm not seeing much red pill here from this man. Unfortunately, it's just emotions and no valid logic.
I'm hoping that he's not like a representation of what their average viewer is, because and I will give him this, he was polite. It is clear that he does have a level of respect for Abba, and hopefully has a level of respect for Duke. Once, like you said, shout out Duke and Don, shout out Abba and Preach. This right here is eye-opening, because this is the problem we got right here. Like this is what we have to see. As young dudes, there are two things that we tend to do very often. The first one is we tend to be too damn headstrong, too stubborn to listen to good advice and good information that's being given to us. And we gotta sometimes listen. You gotta humble yourself. There's a reason why old heads, there's a reason why older people are in other cultures more respected, because they've already lived through the things that we're trying to get through now. And we really need to take a better appreciation of that. And the second thing is really just like, bro, for real, these are weird flexes. Like, people who are actually crazy will tell you that there's nothing cool about being crazy. There's nothing cool about bragging about that, about flexing about mental illness. Like, there's nothing about not being able to control yourself and your behavior. Like, this is not okay. And I agree with Abba. He's going to turn back on this. He's going to look back on this. And it might be 5 years, might be 10 years. And he's going to be blown because he looks crazy. He looks crazy. And he's somewhere down the line, he's going to have a wife, or he's going to have a daughter, or, maybe even his sister, his mother, something crazy is going to happen. And he's going to think back on this, and he's going to be like, man, shouldn't have moved that way. But at the end of the day, can't bring everybody to the light. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And I think that this is a good representation of exactly what they say, because this holier than thou, this like just based fully on pride and ego and not based on logic and real understanding. Like this looks like a person to me that never got his ass whooped. If we're just being completely honest. And the majority, and I feel like the problem that the average dude has these days is that most of us have not had our ass beat. Not really. When you really get hands, you understand where you are in the pecking order. Like you get humbled. Like you might be bad, maybe you can throw, maybe you can go, maybe you go for real. You know what I'm saying? You got hardened all of it, but there's always somebody bigger, always somebody badder. You got to think about it. This dude is right here talking to an audience of minimally 1.5 million people, and he's saying like, "Y'all can come at me. I'm in San Francisco." Like that's ridiculous. I don't understand that. So I agree with you. I think it's eye opening. I think it's very interesting, and I think it's kind of blowing to see. I feel like it was interesting to get Alba's perspective of the whole thing, like Alba's perspective of the beef. Alba, yo, you're watching this? Those 3-4 videos, we still want to see those. Like, drop that content, bro. We here for it. And outside of that, I think that it's just this was a thrill ride. Like I know Duke and Don, like I think he's still pretty new. I hadn't seen much of him, but I've been watching him the last couple of days. Dude's got some great content, and he definitely like brings dope energy. So I'm glad to see this happen because this conversation right here needed to be had. Because if Alba and Preach are not going to be able to talk to Fresh and Fit again, then they need to at least be able to speak to the Fresh and Fit community and at least like hash out some misunderstandings. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Well, down in the comments, definitely let us know how y'all feel about it. Let us know if this particular conversation has sparked any like new thoughts or anything like that. Definitely let us know. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you want us to make more. We done ate up an hour of y'all's time, so definitely let us know, your thoughts and if we should examine it a little bit more.
Or if you got some other videos, that you want us to watch, if you got some content you want to request, definitely go ahead and drop it in there. We're gonna go through. We're gonna try to reply, to any comment, any feedback. We definitely want to get you guys involved. So let us know what's up.
Hey, boy, it's Kobe Morales.
And it's No Mercy. How you guys doing?
Hey, all right, y'all. Have a good one.